So there is walnut and apple all stacked up ready to be milled, which will happen in the winter. And I will videotape it and show you what I'm gonna make out of it. Here's a bunch more. I think I'll cut them in half and make more bowls, but I'll wait to do that. I don't know how wet this walnut was when I had it taken down, and here's some. These are really big, so I'm not sure what I'll do with that. I may make more slices and join them in a table format, so we'll see. And I got one there and the other half of it over here. So I could do a book match thing, so we'll see. And this happens to be a piece of cypress that I was going to make a sink out of, which I will, which was taken down probably, I don't know, 4 years, 5 years ago. And barely any splitting or cracking. So, beautiful piece of wood. I'm hoping I don't have problems with this walnut either, but we'll see. So, today I'm going to prepare some of these walnut blanks that I have to make bowls. And I have to decide whether or not I'm going to keep the bark or get rid of the bark. Like if I put a hole in here and I mill, this is kind of an awkward shape. So I have to take all of that into consideration too. Technically it would only be this thick and I'd be milling away a lot of the top and the bottom, or the top and the bottom depending on how I situate it. So this may not be one I want to work with right away, but this may be one. And actually this is apple. So I have a combination of both apple and walnut, and I probably cut this off at the bandsaw, but these are pretty much, you know, the log, and they're cut. But I've got some that are a little different, and they are like these. I've got this, which is a walnut limb. I would cut this off at the bandsaw, and I'd still get this character on the inside. Now if I put the wormhole here and I mill off the bottom, it would be just a regular bowl without bark. But if I put the hole here and hook it up to, I'll show you. I hook it up to, okay, I can't remember what this is called. A worm screw maybe? But this is big and fat, and this will hold with some things, but I probably don't need, I probably get away with this. I think it's 3/8 inch. If I put it in here, I'll have a bark edged lip, rim, whatever. If I put it in here, and I think I may do that. So I'm going to get a 3/8 inch drill bit and put a hole in here. So this one I will use. There's another one, small. This could be like the lid for something, which would be cool. So if I did that, or if I did that and milled away an area and left a tenon, then I could use that tenon as an inset into a bowl, which would be nice. And I could use a another walnut bowl so it matches, and then I would put this in here, mill away this entire, well, put a 10 in here, so put maybe this in here, 10 in here, flip it over, mill this all away, and then put like a finial on the top so I could use this as a top. Here's another one. Now this is kind of narrow, and it's also got pretty severe cut there. So that's going to have to come down here. So this could be a nice top. But it's walnut, so it's going to be beautiful. I don't know if I want to get rid of that, but I'd have to on some level. So these are, you could see that big split right here. So got to think about that stuff. So that's here. That's 4 of them, and this could be like a small bowl because it's not big side to side. So it'd have to be this, like that. But it could be deeper because it's deeper here to here. So now if I want to make it a, you know, whichever way I decide to do this, I want to make this a bark lip, go in here, mill out the bottom, flip it, make this a top. But it's so little, I don't even know if it's worth doing that. So I'm just going to play around and see what I end up getting. And here's a real funky piece. I have absolutely no idea what I will do with this. So that I'll throw off to the side and mess with later. And this is apple. You can tell it's different. Looks like it's got some kind of bug in it. Now it's a dead bug. But again, it'll be narrow. But it's pretty wood. So we'll see. I decided to use a Forstner bit, thinking that might be better. And I'm going to use this as the top of the bowl. So I made these rings 9.5 diameter a while ago. This is 6 3/4. This is probably close, but I got other ones, small, 5 7/8, 4 inches. And I'll use those to make some marks. But I think I want to try and, well, I want to go deep. So I've got to think about the depth. So like there. So if I go up there, then I want to push this closer to this. But not so close to the bark that it gets funky. So I think that's probably good right there. And I'll put a mark there and a tentative mark around here with a red pencil. And it'll be about 6 3/4, 7 inches wide, edge to edge. But I don't really want to get rid of a lot of that, so we'll see how it ends up milling out. I might need to go that way a hair more, pushing it that way. Oh, this is really hard wood. And I think using a Forstner bit's a dumb idea. So I'm going to switch to a regular bit. Now this is walnut, as I said earlier, and the one thing about walnut is it can make you kind of, well, give you an allergic reaction. And it's weird because I barely started drilling into this stuff and it feels like my left leg is going numb. That's really pretty weird. So now this is 5 7/8. and this is the other one. So I will make this one as the bottom and this one as the top. So when I get to that place, I'll have to figure out a way to make them fit, because this is going to be smaller. I may or may not use it. We'll see. Okay, so that's 2, and that's a good start. Now, keep in mind, because it's walnut, I have to wear a special mask. Now, I've got this trend mask. I'll show you that. So this is the mask, Air Shield Pro, and it goes around your face, and it also has a fan on it. Press this, and it circulates the air, so you're not going to breathe bad air. I also got it with earmuffs, but I don't really need that. But I do need to not breathe this walnut in. I'm butting this right up to the, let me show you. I put that worm screw in there and I'm butting it this flush with the chuck. It's my attempt anyway. And tighten that worm screw on there. Well, actually, I'm not sure. Should hold off. I'm going to try and tighten this a little more. Well, that's kind of spinning around, so I'm not sure this will work. I will bring the tailstock up, so it should hold it in place, but let's try and tighten this down. So I am closing it. Okay, that's on there pretty good. I have to watch out here with the, it won't hit the bench, but the banjo. This is called a banjo. It will hit this. Well, it's not hitting that, so I can get in there pretty close. But I'll be milling from the back side here. So now I'm going to tighten up the tailstock. Bring that in. I might need to take some of that off. I should chip some of that away so it seats best. So let me do that. So I pulled the tailstock up. I'm going to take away some of the bark. And that's loosened already, so apparently that drill bit doesn't work. Yeah. Yeah, it's really loose, and it's not loose on the chuck as much as it's loose on the screw, the worm screw. Okay, that tightens it pretty good. that down. And then let me turn this on really, really slowly. First, slide the banjo in place. I may chop this off too. But I will turn it on a really low speed and get it going that way. Okay, that's on 50 RPM. So I would turn it up really slowly to see how far I could go without it racking and wobbling the whole machine. Okay, I think that's good. I'm going to cut this off and go from there.